Look, dude, what I'm trying to do since 2 days. I'm trying to do over-tune singing. Like,
Enough. Okay, that's cool. But I know the teacher who can get you better with it.
Really? Can you introduce me?
Of course, but we have to travel for that.
I'm ready. Where do we go?
Altyn-Emel National Park.
Altyn-Emel National Park is northeast of Kapchagay Reservoir. There is Singing Bakken, the picturesque and majestic Aktau Mountains, and Beshatyr-Saka Burial Mounds complex in the national park. If you want to visit all these tourist attractions and enjoy all the impressions created by this journey to the full, it will take you a few days. The travel hackers aim to explore only the peril of Altyn-Emel National Park today.
Ah, okay, I see where you want to take me, to this Barkan singing or Dune singing, isn't it?
Exactly.
Nice. I heard actually on the website of this park, you have 2 entrances according to what you want to do over there.
Of course, because it's not like fun and games for you. Part of the Altyn-Emel Park is closed area. It's done to protect the nature.
It's logical, I approve this.
Okay, so what are we gonna do? Take the car and depart, right?
Yeah, sure. Let's hack this trouble, man.
There are 2 routes leading to the national park. Which one should choose depends on what you want to see in Altyn-Emel. If you want to see Beshatyr Burial Mounds, you should go there through Shingildi village. If you want to visit Singing Bakken, you should go through Bashi village. National park entrance costs $3.5 per person. Guide service costs about $9. According to the park rules, tourists must be escorted by a guide. If you plan to do photography there, you'll need to pay $75 to get permission for it.
So, Joe, tell me, are you really gonna ride the bicycle in Altyn-Emel? Really?
Yeah, look, from what I figured out about this place, it's quite an amazing place. And if we travel by car, we'll miss a lot of details. They have mountains on one side, they have the Joly River on the other side. I don't want to miss this, so I prefer to cover some distance by bicycle. Could be fun.
Consider this, like, according to the park rules, yeah? So the employee has to escort you around. I don't know if it will be possible, so we're gonna clear that out. So,
yeah, okay, I hope they will rent me like a bike or even a horse. Why not?
okay, so let's close the door, let's find out.
The first part of the route leading to Altyn-Emel National Park goes along Almaty, Ust-Kamnagorsk Highway. It will take us to the town of Kapchagay, 70 kilometers, and then we'll need to cover about 40 kilometers to get to Shingildi village. Don't worry if you don't have time to have a meal before leaving. You can buy Kazakhstan's fast food in small shops situated near the highway.
Have you exchanged money, Joe?
Is there like a market, supermarket in the park?
No, of course not. But you can still buy like fresh berries and veggies there. So like it's always good to have snacks on the road.
I have enough cash for this.
Okay.
I've decided to buy some kurt and some for Joe. The first is Kazakh national fermented milk product, and the second is pastry stuffed with meat and baked in special tandoor oven. Let's see if he'll like it.
Time to try it, Joe. What do we start from?
I would like to start with this little white thing.
Okay, so you've never tried it, right?
Yep.
Take a bite and tell me, how do you like it? Don't sniff it, take a bite.
It looks like a stone.
Quicker.
You sure it's
Take
eatable?
a bite.
It tastes like very, very old goat cheese we have in France. Yeah, it's good. It's very salty also.
So let's try another one then, if we're done with kurt. Let's try samsa.
Okay.
Actually...
So, samsa, I know more or less about it.
Oh, really?
But I don't know this kind.
So 1, 2, 3?
Wow, it smells good.
delicious,
good.
right?
Yeah.
Careful with the fat. It can flow out on your shirt. We have nowhere to wash it.
What's inside?
Meat, fat, meat. That's all.
Onions?
Maybe a little bit of onions. Some veggies, maybe. Not sure. Because like the recipe changes from place to place. Everyone like makes it differently. There is no like a standard. Standard is that it's a little ball filled with meat. That's it.
The shape and the size?
Shape has to be basically around like this, and the size can vary from this to this. Like who knows? Who knows what you're gonna do?
Okay. That's very good and very convenient, like to have snack on the road like we are.
The scenery behind the window mainly remains the same. Anyway, you can sleep or imagine the end of our journey.
Hey man, what are you looking at?
I was actually worrying that the weather can get worse, right?
And are you like afraid to be wet? I have my jacket and an umbrella.
Come on, of course I have them too, but the thing is, like, the teacher we're going to, like, he's very capricious. If it will be raining today, he will not be singing for like a week at least.
Oh.
So the weather has to be dry.
Okay, all right.
So even though it's too early for dinner, right, we have decided to stop at the village Shingaldi to have a little snack, because like later on our way, there ain't gonna be any major settlements, so we've decided to stay here for dinner.
Sure, and actually since we are in Kapchapgai area, we should maybe make a try on fish dishes. What do you think?
Yeah, of course, let's go, let's try it.
Let's try this.
Unfortunately, our dreams of having fish dishes didn't come true, because they didn't have fish in this cafe. But then we had delicious Monty. Together, we paid $9 for 2 main courses: salad, a flatbread, and tea. During the meal, it came to our mind that we could deviate from the main route and explore the western part of Altyn-Emel National Park.
So Joe, you sure you want still to go the part of the way on a bicycle?
Yeah, honestly, yeah, I do understand it can sound kind of ironic, but the scenery is quite boring. And I'm also here for the wilderness, you know, and on this way I will be able to have like the mountain on the left, river on the right. Sounds awesome to me.
So you want like to get up close and personal to the nature. Make sure you have enough water though. Like it's really easy to get sunstruck there, you won't even notice that.
Yeah, I do have enough water. And yeah, I want to cover the distance by bicycle because, yeah, first I told you the scenery is quite boring. And if you travel only by car, I think you can miss a lot of great things to see. Secondly, actually, I'm here also to feel like the nomad spirit, you know, the steppe spirit, the steppe thing. And if I'm going to this overtune singing thing, my bicycle will be my horse, actually.
Okay, so we are slowly approaching the park itself. We'll know for sure if it's possible to cover the road on a bicycle.
Nice.
Now we wait.
Thanks. So finally, is it allowed to go by bicycle in this area, actually?
Без проблемы. У нас погода.
Of course, but the weather is hot, so it depends on your health condition.
Do you know that Beshatyr mountains aren't the only thing to attract travelers here?
No, actually, I didn't. Is there other things we can see here?
Of course, these guys have petroglyphs here, which are named tambalitas.
Wow, I don't understand. I'm getting confused. I know there is like Tamgalitas along the Joly River, and there are also Tambali Tambalitas village with petroglyph.
Yeah,
You can see, and you're telling me that here you also have petroglyph.
Yeah, these are completely different places. I get the idea that there is confusion with names. We'll clear that out like during the road with the instructor, with the guide.
Okay.
So yeah, so you finally decided to ride the bicycle.
Yeah, I'm ready, actually.
So then prepare to eat some dust, man.
Okay, let's
Okay,
see.
have fun.
Thanks.
Joe can go by bike if he wants it so much. As for me, I prefer comfortable and safe travel.
So as our instructor has informed us, petroglyphs are not concentrated in one place. Rather, they are scattered all over the mountain complex. Most of them are found on the southern slope. All petroglyphs were carved between Saka Age and the Middle Age. We are now represented to the most popular and full collection of petroglyphs here in Altyn-Emel mountains. Actually, I hope Joe will not get lost along the way. I'll wait for him here and see what happens.
Although Joe didn't get lost, judging from the tight expression on his face, I realized that it wasn't the most pleasant trip. Well, I had told him so. Anyway, the important thing is that we've reached the destination and are ready to learn about the rock art monuments.
Why is it indicated Tambalitas to call the petroglyph? Is it a ruse to attract tourists? Because you have like Tangalitas, which is petroglyph along the Joly River, and you have Tambalitas in the Kopa station on the road from Almaty to Bishkek.
Таңбалытас деп айтылады, негізі таңбалы.
Yes, Tambalitas is a kind of well-established term, which means rock petroglyphs. Tanba translates from Kazakh as a sign. They're rock signs. You're right, there are some of them not far from Bishkek, near Almaty, and here in Altyn-Emel National Park.
So, guys, if you're planning to come to Kazakhstan and to visit petroglyph, be careful if they use Tambalitas, Tangalitas, because we know already 3 places with petroglyph, and it's completely not at the same location. So please ask some specification to prepare your route and your budget and your time, because it's completely different places.
Scientists have started studying rock art monuments relatively recently in Kazakhstan. The main problem they encountered was related to difficulties with dating such pictures. Rock is almost an everlasting material. So the images carved into them 2000 years ago and those which appeared many centuries later look exactly the same.
Of course, breaking off a piece of stone with petroglyph on it would be sacrilege. Of course, I'm not gonna do that. But I want so much something to remember about this place that this little guy is coming with me.
The second part of our journey is getting to Bashi village, where the National Park administration is. You can get passes to the eastern part of Altyn-Emel here. The name of famous Kazakh historian and ethnographer Shokan Valihanov is connected with the Altyn-Emel mountains. He spent the last years of his life in this area. When he died at the age of 29, he was buried here.
One of the main tourist attractions of Altyn-Emel is also connected with Shokan Valihanov's name, you know? So the road leading there crosses a path which National Park was named after. I know a legend that says that Genghis Khan himself once upon a time gave the name Altyn-Emel to Altyn-Emel. So he looked at the pass fluted with sunlight and exclaimed, Altyn-Emel, which means golden saddle.
Okay. Even if it's just a legend, which has nothing to see with Genghis Khan, it is appealing.
Yeah, kinda.
The The road was long and not very good, which is why we got to Bashi village in the evening. So we had to put off the trip to singing Balkan and visit some other tourist attractions until the next day. So today was actually a really difficult day. Both me and Joe are really tired. Joe wanted at the beginning to spend the night in a tent, but now actually this is not happening. We will get our paperwork for visiting Altyn-Emel tomorrow in the morning. Now we are going to sleep.
Oh yeah.
We were ready to continue our journey after having a restful sleep. So Joe, how do you like the hotel, like the place itself?
Actually, it's nice. I'm quite surprised to find this level of comfort in the middle of nowhere where we are here. So,
Yeah,
it's a
really.
good thing.
Really. So even by like the Almaty standards, this is good. This is acceptable.
Yeah, it's more than
all
acceptable.
All things considered, this is like the presidential level we're living in here.
Yeah.
So what about the meal?
Yeah, it's good. Actually, I like to have this kind of breakfast, so... No,
Okay.
that's very good. Good choice. And people are nice. It's like family managed. I like this.
Yeah, actually, it's the first hotel where I was asked to take off my shoes before going in.
Ah, really?
Yeah, I've never seen such things.
But it's quite usual in Kazakhstan to get off your shoes
like
at the entry.
in any hotel, like you're not supposed to take off your shoes. This is the only like place where I was asked to take off my shoes. So here is like a little bit of fusion between like Asian culture and European culture. So we have like European style hotel, but Asian requirements to take off your shoes.
Yeah, but that's why I'm saying it's like family owned. It's like you're entering someone's home, so you get off your shoes. Because here, you get off shoes when you're entering someone's place.
So yesterday we mentioned like Genghis Khan's names in accordance with two things, like the mountain pass and the Altyn-Emel National Park.
A legend actually ascribes Altyn-Emel name to him.
So like we have one more thing, one more tourist attraction connected to Genghis Khan and his history.
I would like to see this a lot.
Of course we're gonna see this.
Nice.
There is a small museum in the building of the National Park Administration where you can get passes. The museum provides information about the history of the national park, its animal kingdom, and natural and historic sites. You can follow two routes from Bashi village. One of them leads to Aktau and Katutau mountains. It's believed that the Aktau mountains were the bottom of an ocean, which covered the area of Kazakhstan 50 million years ago. The majority of fossilized remains of prehistoric animals, which you can see in the museum, were found in the Aktau mountains. The Katutau, the second mountain range, is mountains formed as a result of a volcanic activity. The deserted but majestic landscape of these mountains is worth a separate trip. In spite of this, we the Aktau Mountains to see more picturesque and lot less legendary attraction of Altyn-Emel National Park. This attraction is connected with the name of the great military leader Genghis Khan.
between this tree and Genghis Khan? Did he plant it?
Well, I'm not sure if he planted it, but the common legend is that when he started conquering Middle Asia, right, he used to rest under this tree's shadow.
Probably another appealing legend, like the one about the past.
You're so skeptical.
Yeah, but this time I have something to support my skepticism, actually, because, yeah, historians say that Genghis Khan was leading his campaign around 1218, which is 800 years ago. So even if we assume this tree is 100 years older, Genghis Khan could not be resting under it. But the willow survived thanks to the conqueror's army.
Oh, well, sounds logical. So I guess let's move to our next spot. Maybe your skepticism will become less prevalent there.
Let's check it out.
Let's go.
The straight line distance between the Willow and Singing Bakken is about 20 kilometers. However, the Altyn-Emel mountains lie between them. To get to the road leading to the final destination of our journey, we need to go around the mountains.
So before going to the Singing Balkans, we've decided to make another stop. The road to the dune lies between two mountains, Ulken-Kaskan and Kyshe-Kaskan. There, in the narrow pass between two mountains, lies a spring named after Chakan Walikhanov. So the spring we're going to is named Chakan Walikhanov Spring.
Did you discover it?
Well, I don't think so. I think it was just named after him. So the legend says that he was on one of his secret missions.
Wow, like a spy mission.
Well, of course you can put it like that. So during one of his secret missions, he rested near this spring, drank water from it, you know.
I know he died young. Don't tell me he died because he drank such water.
Well, it certainly didn't have anything to do with water. It was tuberculosis which killed him.
Okay, I prefer this.
Oh, wow, look. Look, the thing dried out on us.
Is it the water spring?
Yeah, it's
Really?
supposed to be.
We've been there and it's dried.
I heard that it dries out in the in hot summers, but I didn't expect that.
Come on, man.
Unlucky. So I guess I have water on me. Let's drink that
So am I.
and move out of here. Oh, that's depressing, honestly.
Okay,
So much to come here. Let's go.
After quenching our thirst and discussing the legends related to Altyn-Emel National Park again, we went to the final destination of our journey. If we are lucky, Joe will learn from Singing Bakken how to make deep low-pitched sounds reminding of overtone singing, which nomadic people of Central Asia have long been famous for.
Take a look at this. Holy.
Wow.
That's a nice view up here. So guys, we finally made it to the Balkans, and I'm telling you, this is amazing.
And the new 7 Wonders of Nature international campaign has started 10 years ago. It's about the most beautiful natural spot all over the world. And Singing Bakken was one of them. It has been qualified, actually. It's like receiving an Oscar nominee, for example. And unfortunately, it didn't win, but it still remained one of the most beautiful and natural, unique spots in the world.
The dune known as the Singing Bakken is up to 3 kilometers in length and 150 meters in height. The sand dune formed as a result of sand being blown from the Ili River sandbanks. Strong wind always raises clouds of sand dust in the air from river sandbanks. The Ulken-Kalkan and Kyshe-Kalkan mountains are located at a small angle between each other. As a result, they create an obstacle to the wind and sand remains trapped here.
All the dunes are natural travelers, just like Altyn, but this one doesn't move around the valley even an inch, despite like the raging wind and the rippling sand. This is one of the unique features of this Balkan.
Balkan revealed its character to us in the fall. Besides the fact that it was very difficult to climb the dune covered by sticky sand, a strong wind started blowing.
Of course, and naturally, a lot of legends are connected to this place. One of them is linked to Genghis Khan and his main military leaders. They would have been buried here. So when the Khan soul is actually exhausted by mental anguish, for example, it's telling to his descendants about his feast. Another legend is about an evil who fell asleep here, and if you bother him, you will hear this very particular and unique sound of Barkan. If we are lucky, maybe we will hear it.
So now we are approaching the moment of truth. We're going to see the singing Barkan and listen to it if we are lucky.
Yeah, I hope I'm a good student and that the teacher recommended by you will be singing first.
You know where the singing sound comes from at all? Like the dry grains of sand, they rub each other. And then the sounds come to life.
And what if it keeps silent? I think we should maybe stay here for a while and enjoying this wonderful view. Okay, this is the moment. I will try to rehearse a little bit, and if Barkan starts singing, I will try to sing it along.
Not working. Not working at all. So, I guess let's go before I fall off the thing.
Okay.
A mass of sand on the dune slopes should be set in motion to make Barkan sing. You can achieve it just by walking or running downhill if you manage it. Unfortunately, in spite of all our efforts, the strong wind prevented us from hearing Barkan's unique voice. Joly had to imitate the sound made by wind and put off the musical lesson taught by singing Barkan until the next journey here. So let's sum up. Vehicle rent $174, Samsa and Kurt $3, lunch in cafe $9, National Park entrance fee $7, taking pictures in Altyn-Emel National Park $75, hotel accommodation $35, breakfast $6, guide service $9. In total, together we spent $380 on this journey.
So our journey to Altyn-Emel National Park took us 2 days.
Yeah, we found some legends connecting Altyn-Emel with Genghis Khan.
And didn't believe any of them, didn't you?
Yeah, sure, but legends, they don't need to be true. They're just appealing yourself.
What is really true, though, that the tour to Altyn-Emel right here will elevate your experience in the Great Steppe and will help you to get a closer look to the culture of Kazakhstan, the Great Steppe.
This is undiscussable.
So, guys, I guess see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.